Fiber promotes health and longevity more than any other dietary component on the planet. I'm going to be going over the 7 foods that contain the highest amounts of fiber and how you can incorporate more of these into your daily meals. So I'm Carly, I'm a plant-based nutritionist, and I'm very passionate about this diet because it has helped me in so many different facets of my life, and I strive to help others implement it in theirs as well. Number 1, legumes. This can be anything from split peas, lentils, garbanzo beans, black beans, navy beans, great northern beans. These are all legumes. They range from about 16 grams per serving in split peas down to 15.5 grams for lentils, and then down to 15 grams for black beans. Those are some of the highest fiber containing legumes. Legumes are so versatile. This is literally the perfect food. They have found across all long-lived civilizations, this is the #1 dietary component that they all have in common. They all love their beans. They're super cheap, so versatile, and incredibly good for you. So some ways you might want to incorporate these into your meals is, honestly, I throw them into everything. My daughter and I eat them in our oatmeal in the morning. Every time I cook grains, I make sure to throw some lentils in with it to get that added protein and fiber. I eat beans on top of all my salads, my soups, my chilies, every Mexican dish, garbanzo beans in Thai and Indian dishes, and lots of white beans I use for soups. You can make hummus or even throw them into smoothies for some added fiber or protein. Number 2 on the list, we have avocados at about 10 grams per serving. Now these can vary obviously depending on the size and the ripeness. Avocados are great for anything, but particularly in whole plant food dishes, you can make sauces and dips and dressings with avocado as the base. And it's very neutral when you mix it with other herbs and seasonings or citrus containing fruits like lemons or limes. And they're obviously great in Mexican dishes. Number 3, I'm a little reluctant to mention. It's a highly processed food. It's Bran cereal. So although it contains up to 10 grams per serving, this usually does more harm than good because all that bran tends to bump out other nutrients that would have been absorbed without all that additional artificially created fiber. So you're better off getting your fiber from more whole plant foods. Number 4 is a tie. So first I'm going to go over chia and flax seeds. These, again, incredibly versatile, and you can throw them into smoothies, and I put them in my oatmeal, my soups, my salads, everything. It's good to get that added fat in meals that you're ingesting a bunch of micronutrients because it helps you absorb those nutrients. Just don't go overboard because they're very easy to eat in excess. 1 ounce per day is the typical serving. So these usually top out at about 12 grams per serving. And number 5 at 12 to 9 grams per serving are dried apricots and prunes. These are great for salads and just to eat as a snack, really. You could even put them into a blender and make different dips and dressings with them to create a little sweetness. But they are really high in sugar, natural sugars, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Just keep it in mind when you're meal planning and determining what other sweet foods you're going to eat throughout the day. Number 6 would be most whole grains from 9.9 grams to about 5. This can be rice, oats, amaranth, quinoa, teff, millet. These are all going to be great high fiber foods, and they actually find like sorghum and millet are incredibly beneficial for your microbiome. These are highly indigestible for humans because they contain so much of these fibers that by the time they get down into your colon, they are so undigested that your gut bugs will feed on them. And they happen to be those awesome gut bugs that convert those short chain fatty acids into the longer chain fatty acids and promote the generate the butyrate that induces the DHA and the EPA, which is excellent for brain health. Last but not least is raspberries and blackberries at about 8 grams per serving. And this goes without saying. You can put them in just about anything: desserts, breakfast cereals, smoothies, salads, or just eat them as a snack. I love them frozen. I recently was introduced to eating frozen berries, and it's just like candy. It's just dessert to me. I love it. And it's okay to eat too many of these because they're so high in fiber and because they are one of the most highly antioxidant laden foods on the planet. So these will be helpful for reducing oxidative stress and free radicals and ultimately reducing your DNA damage. Each and every time you ingest food, you're creating free radicals and oxidative stress and aging your body because the natural metabolic processes actually give off these chemical reactions that induce these outcomes. So when you do eat, you're going to want to make sure you ingest plenty of these antioxidants to combat those free radicals. So I think if you keep that in mind, and of course, high fiber foods, you'll see the benefits. And a lot sooner than you think. I hope this was helpful. I am so enthusiastic about this diet, and I really hope you guys take some of these tips and find some new recipes to put these foods in and leave them in the comments below. I'd love to broaden my horizons. See you next time.